Australia is a land of profound contrasts. It is an island continent, vast and ancient, adrift between the immense blue canvases of the Indian and Pacific Oceans. Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean. This is a place where time itself seems to stretch and bend. The story of its human inhabitants began over 65,000 years ago, a tenure of breathtaking depth. The first peoples developed a relationship with this land that is one of the oldest continuous cultures on Earth. Aboriginal peoples, Torres Strait Islander peoples. They learned its secrets, its rhythms, and its moods. Their story is the foundational chapter of Australia, written in the very rock, sand, and spirit of the continent. This journey will trace that ancient line through time. We will follow a clear timeline of events. The human story of Australia began long before any European maps were drawn. More than 65,000 years ago, the first people arrived on the continent. These were the ancestors of today's Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. They made incredible journeys across land bridges and across sea channels. They were true pioneers, adapting to a land that was entirely new to them. Not a single uniform group, a mosaic of many different nations and clans. Hundreds of distinct cultures flourished, each with its own language, laws, and traditions. They developed systems of kinship, trade, and ceremony. Knowledge passed down through stories, songs, and art, and the dreaming, creation stories, and spiritual lore. Life relied on intimate environmental knowledge, expert hunters, fishers, and gatherers. Some practiced land management with controlled fire, a sophisticated, sustainable way of life for tens of thousands of years. In the late 1700s, the world of the first Australians was irrevocably altered. In 1770, Captain James Cook sailed the HMS Endeavour along the eastern coast. He meticulously mapped the coastline, naming it New South Wales and claiming the entire region for the British Crown. Britain's prisons were overflowing, and with America lost, a new destination for convicts was sought. The idea of a penal colony was born. In 1788, the first fleet arrived at Botany Bay. Under Captain Arthur Phillip, over 1,400 people arrived. Men, women, even children. Finding Botany Bay unsuitable, Phillip moved to Sydney Cove. On January 26, 1788, the penal colony of New South Wales was established. The early years were harsh, unprepared settlers, poor harvests, and starvation. Conflict, disease, and dispossession followed as the British concept of land ownership collided with indigenous culture. Despite hardship, the colony survived and expanded into multiple colonies, including Van Diemen's Land, Western Australia, South Australia, Victoria, and Queensland. By the end of the 19th century, the 6 Australian colonies existed as separate entities, each with its own government, laws, even railway gauges. A shared identity grew. Conventions, debates, and referendums advanced the Federation cause. The British Parliament passed the legislation, and on January 1st, 1901, the Commonwealth of Australia was born. 6 colonies became states in a new federal system. Canberra was planned while Melbourne served as the temporary seat. Federation was a peaceful, democratic achievement. When World War I broke out, Australia joined Britain, sending hundreds of thousands overseas. Gallipoli became defining. Bravery, endurance, and mateship forged a national identity. In World War II, the fall of Singapore and the bombing of Darwin brought war close to home and shifted Australia's strategic outlook toward the United States. The war mobilized the nation, transformed industry, and reinforced Australia's independence and place in the world. The stage was set for post-war transformation. The end of World War II marked a pivotal moment. The war exposed vulnerability in a small population. A bold immigration program began, first British migrants, then displaced Europeans. Hundreds of thousands arrived from Italy, Greece, Germany, and the Netherlands, reshaping society. They brought new foods, traditions, languages, and religions. Their labor powered prosperity in factories, infrastructure, and growing cities. Early policy pushed assimilation, a single Anglo-Australian mold. By the early 1970s, multiculturalism replaced assimilation. The White Australia policy was dismantled, opening doors to Asia and beyond. New waves from Vietnam, China, India, the Philippines, and the Middle East deepen diversity. Today, Australia celebrates diversity, one of the most multicultural nations on Earth. Australia today is a highly developed and stable liberal democracy. It covers approximately 7.7 million square kilometers, the world's sixth largest country. Most people live along the coast, particularly in the southeast. The interior is sparsely populated. Around 26 million people, among the least densely populated nations. Urban, high living standards, excellent healthcare and education that attract the world. Sydney is the largest, famed for the Opera House and Harbour Bridge. Melbourne rivals it with arts, coffee culture, and sport, together nearly 40% of the population. Other capitals include Brisbane, Perth, Adelaide, Canberra as the political centre, and Hobart in Tasmania. A strong, diverse economy: iron ore, coal, natural gas, gold, agriculture, wheat, meat, wine, trade with Asia. A sophisticated service sector in finance, education, and tourism now dominates output and jobs. In summary, the story of Australia is a journey from deep antiquity to a complex and dynamic present. From indigenous beginnings, through 1788 and penal origins, to uniting in 1901 and proving its mettle in 2 world wars. Post-war migration transformed a British outpost into a successful multicultural society and prosperous nation, built on resources, innovative industries, and a highly skilled workforce. Vibrant cities of culture, commerce, and education. The legacy of colonization endures. Australia seeks reconciliation, addressing injustices, recognition, and true partnership. Climate change brings fires, droughts, and floods. Resilience, innovation, and collective will are vital. Under a shared commitment to democracy, freedom, and a fair go for all. A blend of ancient heritage and global cultures creates a unique, evolving national identity. Australia's lifestyle, landscapes, and open society draw visitors and new citizens alike.